Today we are at Seatown. We're going to do a bit of fossil hunting and beachcombing at the beach here at Seatown. Car parking, £6 per car, payment via Honesty Box. So it's Boxing Day, December the 26th, and the traditional activity for Boxing Day is a bracing walk, and certainly it's bracing today. We're here at Seatown on the Jurassic coast. Just over there is Charmouth and Lyme Regis. The beach is a lot like the pebbles on Chesil, very rounded pebbles, and there's the reason why. Massive surf. We will not be going very close to that today. It's been a long time since I've been to Seatown, but my recollection of the fossils here is that just sifting the material here on the beach, you find crinoid stems. I haven't seen any yet though. So there's the first one. That's a piece of crinoid stem, and you can tell because if you look at the end of it, it's kind of pentagonal. And that was just lying on the surface here, and yeah, if I dig around, there are more pieces here. Not all of them are crinoid stems, but just sifting through this pea shingle here, that's where we used to find them. Of course, some of the things that look like crinoid stems are just sticks. And some of the pieces are so worn that they could be anything. That could just be a piece of flint, it could be a piece of a belemnite, or it could be a crinoid stem. But I remember sitting here on a rather warmer day than this in summer with fish and chips, and just sifting through this gravel and finding a whole handful of crinoid stems just within reach of where I was sitting. Piece of an ammonite there, look at that. That's quite nice. That's a piece of pyrite. Neva is full of the joys of barking at rocks. There's quite a few pieces of pyrite here, so I will keep my eyes open. That's a piece of crinoid stem, again tumbled down to almost unrecognisable form, but you can see that that's part of something that was once cylindrical. So Jenny's just found a piece of ammonite. I think that's nice enough to keep. Now if we're lucky up here where the cliffs are a bit closer to the water, we will find some ammonites that have been washed out and weathered out just lying on the foreshore. Very much luck of the draw. As you can see, we're not the only people looking. That's just a piece of weathered shale. And of course, as usual, there are people digging in the cliffs, which, you know, they'll find fossils, they just won't find anything that's going to last. But they're not so likely to. See the more layered shales here, rather than the kind of jumbled up stuff that's on top there. So I think I'll just have a little sift in this gravel here and see if we can find anything just lying in the pea shingle here underneath the cliff, because if it's eroded out and the matrix is weathered off of it, this is where we might find something nice. Very much luck of the draw. No, not really seeing anything there. We'll keep looking. We didn't bring Eva's ball today because I'm scared that if I throw it, it'll roll into the sea. And if Eva goes in there, it will turn into one of those stories where dog owner drowns trying to rescue dog. Dog escapes unscathed. See, there's a quite nice belemnite. Completely weathered out and very durable. It is the perfect day for a Boxing Day walk. It's bright and sunny and quite cold and bracingly windy. So this is a kind of antidote to the overindulgence of Christmas dinner. However, we have got a second taste of Christmas dinner waiting for us in the car. So Jenny's just spotted imprints of some ammonites here in this cliff fall. Let's see if we can get a closer look. So there's an imprint of an ammonite there, another one there, another one up there, another one there. Just imprints. I don't know if that implies that somebody's hacked the other ones out. It probably does mean there are some ammonite fossils in here that will be durable enough to keep, but finding them would be quite a chore. I'm not digging through that lot. There's a little piece there. So really nice sparkly bit of iron pyrite there, fool's gold. Not going to take that because it won't stay shiny. It tends to go dull in quite a short space of time. But this is where I will look for more fossils, because we've got some lovely weathered pieces of pyrite that have clearly come out of the cliff quite recently. It's just a matter of picking up enough of these and turn them over, and we will eventually find an ammonite. At least that's the theory anyway. So just found this piece, which is a fragment of an ammonite. I don't think I'll keep that. It's iron pyrite, really nice and shiny and lovely patterning there, but it's such a small fragment. I think we'll leave that one. I wouldn't mind betting there's an ammonite in the middle of there somewhere. Just got that kind of look to it. So yeah, people digging up in the cliffs here, which good luck to them. I'm going to go look in the surf down here, or rather in the foreshore area. Well, mudslide, running water, recent rain. I'm not sure it would ever be a good idea to clamber up these cliffs. So, end of the beach now. Just rocks and stuff down here. I'm just going to have a little look in here. You can see the pyrite nodules weathering out here. So this is, I don't know, this is where you might find things that are embedded in, but again, not really worth digging them out. Oh, here we are. So here's a rather nice and fully intact belemnite, and another one there, and another one there. Really nice long belemnites. I guarantee if I tried to chisel that out, it would break. It will fracture somewhere along its length because it's really slender. So the best thing to do is just enjoy it where it is, really. How about that then? There's a huge belemnite. Look at that. Must be like 3.5 inches long. Remains of a bivalve fossil there. Hello, dogs.
Sorry.
It's okay, no problem at all.
I think they think you're pointing food out for them.
That's usually the case, isn't it? So yeah, we've got and crinoids here. These are crinoid stems. So that's a crinoid stem there. This is what they call a death plate. Look at all these stems and pieces of fossil here. Very nice big belemnite. So yeah, mixture of belemnites, crinoid stems, bivalves. This is a piece of bivalve shell here. Really quite pretty. Found a fairly intact belemnite. But yeah, look at this. What they call a death plate. That's almost certainly remains of an ammonite there. And another one there. So there are some very nice fossils here in the rocks waiting to weather out. So in theory, if we look down there on the shore, we should find the ones that are weathered out on the last tide and have survived. So if we look down here, we might find some loose fossils. Yeah, so there's pieces of belemnite, so I don't think they're coming out in one piece, these fossils. But we'll have a little wander down here and see what we can find loose in the foreshore here. That's a stick. I'm not going in the sinky mud. Now, well, perhaps today is just not our day for finds. And it's always kind of struck me that Seatown seems like a kind of made-up name, like somebody had to make it up in a hurry.
You, what year is this? Who is your president?
What's that you say?
What is the name of this place?
Place don't got no name, sir.
Your response is unacceptable. What is the name of this place?
Seatown? Seatown.
Your response is acceptable.
Maybe that's just me. Anyway, we're going to head back to the car now for Boxing Day sandwiches, and then after lunch we might have a little wander in the other direction. Tide is still going out here. Low tide's in a few hours time. This is not a place you'd want to get stuck along this beach when the tide comes all the way in, because it does go all the way up to those cliffs. You can see how the waves have actually carved out the bottom section of that cliff there. So not a place to come when the tide is coming in. Yes, Eva agrees. Oh, here we are. So there's a nice little piece of ammonite on the foreshore. Very nice. Oh, Jenny's found something. What you got? Oh, that's very nice. Oh, that's the best find today. This seems to be a good spot. There's another section of a big ammonite. So it really is just a case of the right pair of eyes, looking in the right direction at the right moment in time. Because every time those waves come in and move everything around, it could be either covering up or exposing a fossil. So it's very much luck of the draw, but we have been quite lucky today, I think. Boxing Day sandwiches. We've got this lovely fluffy white bread. Not even going to attempt to spread butter on that, it's so soft. So we'll have mayo. Boxing Day leftovers. So in here we've got a bit of roasted duck, some stuffing, some pigs in blankets. Let's assemble some of that into there. I suppose the duck is the easiest thing to add first. Stuffing. This is a sausage meat stuffing with cranberries added in. Lovely. And pigs in blankets. Slice these kind of into long pieces so they don't fall out of the sandwiches. Hey, get down! Get your nose away from my sandwich, you cheeky little monster. Piccalilli. There we go, Boxing Day sandwiches. I almost forgot. Chestnuts. Got a couple of roasted chestnuts left over from Christmas dinner, so I'm just going to slice these really thin. Oh, they kind of crumble. Okay, and I'm just going to post those pieces into my sandwiches. Like that. There we go. Can't see the join. Right, Boxing Day sandwiches, take 2. Let's head to the beach. Boxing Day sandwiches in the car. Very welcome on a day like today. Well, I think rather than another walk along another bit of very similar beach, we'll have a little stroll up the hillside here, up onto the cliff top, see what the view is like up there. Not going to venture too close to these cliff edges. As you can see, they are falling apart. Okay, we're nearly at the top now, and this bit's got a kind of bit of an Iron Age hill fort vibe to me. I don't know if that's what it is. It looks like we can't go up the top there for cliff falls, so we'll go around this way. Yeah, just this kind of slightly terraced, undulating hillside here makes me think this is probably a hill fort. I will confirm that. I'm sure it'll be marked on a map somewhere. So that's Seatown down there. We're up on the big hill to the east of Seatown, and yeah, I'm fairly sure this must have been fortified at some point. The reason being, Iron Age forts in this area, fairly common. If you look at that hill over there, think about how easy that would be to fortify. You build a fence around the top, you dig a ditch around it, and if your enemies come to attack you, by the time they get to the top of the hill, well, much like you can hear me at the moment, they're exhausted. So you get to fend off enemies who have got a disadvantage of having climbed up a massive hill. Right, I don't think we're going to go much further than this. Danger, rock falls, serious risk of injury or death. Yeah, not today. I will just go up this way a little bit. We're not anywhere near the cliff edge. Just see the best view we can get. You can see there's the old coastal path, which they've had to move inland because the cliffs are just crumbling into the sea. Well, you can see it happening down there. So this is as close as I'm going. Seatown beach down there, lime ridges in the further distance, and I'm not sure what that headland is over there. And then if we look over this brow of this hill here, we should be able to see, I think, well, maybe just underneath the tree there, you can see Chesil Beach. Yeah. So we just have a look over the brow of this hill, so you can see Chesil Beach and the Isle of Portland. Let's get back on the path. Right, so there we go. So that over there is Chesil Beach, leading on to the Isle of Portland, that kind of sloping island out there. Right, I think we just head to the studio now to review the finds we've had for today, and then back here just to say bye-bye. Well, let us review today's finds, which I've rinsed and dried out overnight. Star find, I think, has to be this one, which Jenny found. Partial ammonite, but partial in a very pleasing way, because it contains the centre of the spiral. So that's a really nice piece. I'll get photos of these and put close-up photos on the screen, of the nicer ones anyway. So that's a really good find. Then we got several other partial pieces of pyritized ammonite. And then some bigger bits as well, bigger segments. And this one, this chunky boy, I can't quite understand why everybody had walked past that, but there it was just lying there on the gravel, everybody walking past it, and there it is. And interestingly with this one, you can see there's some little traces of the, I think that's probably the kind of mother of pearl type lining of the original shell of the ammonite. I think that's what that is. It might be recrystallized calcite or something like that, but it's not completely impossible or unusual to find little traces of the actual original shell. I think you can see it in between here. So you can see that's either the remains of the minerals in the original shell, in between those ridges there, or it could be another mineral that's flowed in there and replaced it. It's possible, either way. We've got a collection of belemnites, including a big chunky one, partial. I mean, these are all partial belemnites actually, because you saw the ones in the rock there, and they're really quite long. So these are all partial. And interestingly on this one, you can see there is a kind of segmentation thing that you get on these, and it is a trace of the original endoskeleton structure. And one little crinoid stem. So as you can see a kind of segmented effect, and you can see that it's star shape in cross section. I expected to find a lot more of these. My last visit to Seatown was over a decade ago, but we sat down on the gravel and sifted through it, and you just find hundreds of these in the coarse gravel. Didn't have time to do that today. It really wasn't the kind of day for sitting down and staying still. A lovely day for a Boxing Day walk, but not a lovely day to sit down and stay still. So there are different pyrite formations, different kind of crystallizations of pyrite in the different strata in the Kimmeridge Formation, and some of them preserve better than others. This is the one from Seatown, and it's got quite a lot of nice shine to it still, and that'll probably keep it. This is the one, this is the one I found a couple of weeks ago at Charmouth, and it had gone dull by the time we got it home. It will probably stay a little bit shiny, but some of them go grey and start the pyrite decay process really quickly. Others seem to keep their pyrite shine indefinitely. So anyway, those are the finds, and as I say, star find was this one which Jenny found. So we'll go back now to Coastal Shrimp for the wrap up. So this is interesting. This is where the river that runs through Seatown, can't remember the name of the river, I'll put it on the screen. This is where this comes out to the sea, but it's washing away this gravel bank. It's seeping through the gravel from the other side there and washing the gravel to make a channel. Several channels, in fact. You can see the same thing happening over there. And every time the tide comes in, this will be reset. So the tide will level this off because the mouth of the river will be up there somewhere. And then next tide, this will happen all over again. And this whole process and this surf and everything is the reason why these rocks are so rounded. And you can see down the bottom there, you can see the clay, the underlying clay bed at the bottom. The gravel lays on top of a clay bed, which is the base of the cliffs, I suppose. So thanks for joining me on my blustery Boxing Day beach walk at Seatown. I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.